Hello and welcome. Today we are jumping right into a pretty big deal, a proposed overhaul of India's income tax laws. We're looking at an analysis from financial advisor RIY Owaist Sheikh on a new direct tax code that's set to replace the old 1961 Act. So what could this actually mean for you and your wallet? Let's break it down. What if your taxes really did get simpler? And maybe even a little fairer. That's the big promise here. We're going to unpack 3 key changes that, according to RAOS Sheikh's analysis, could be a real win for the average taxpayer. We're talking everything from filing late to how your rental income is handled. Okay, first up, let's talk about something that causes a ton of anxiety for so many of us, that looming, dreaded filing deadline. Right now, the rule is, well, it's pretty harsh. If you file your income tax return even a little late, any refund you were supposed to get is just gone. Poof. The government basically says, tough luck, you missed your shot. A simple delay could literally cost you thousands. But check this out. Under the new bill, that crazy penalty would just disappear. You could file your return late and still claim your full refund. This is a huge, huge relief. It's a practical win that basically says, hey, we get it. Life happens. A delay shouldn't mean you lose money that's rightfully yours. All right, let's move on to the second big benefit. This one is all about making the tax on rental income a whole lot fairer. If you're a landlord or you earn any money from property, this change, as highlighted by RAOS Sheikh, is one you'll want to pay close attention to. To make things fairer, the bill introduces this concept called notional rent. It sounds complicated, but it's not. Instead of just taking your word for what rent you collected, the tax would be based on the average market rent for a similar place in your neighborhood. The whole point is to stop landlords from, saying they only charged a tiny amount to dodge taxes. So, how would the tax actually be calculated? It's a pretty straightforward 4-step deal. You start with that average or notional rent. From that, you get to subtract any municipal tax you've already paid. Then, and this is the important part, you subtract a flat 30% standard deduction. Whatever is left is your new taxable income, and for a lot of people, it's going to be lower. Let's just focus on that number for a second. 30%. This standard deduction is a potential game changer. Why? Because it simplifies everything. You don't have to track every little repair or expense anymore. You just get this one big automatic reduction in your taxable rental income. It's a clean and simple way to save. And that brings us to the third major change, which is some much-needed relief for anyone who owns a commercial property that's sitting empty. Just imagine this for a second. You own a shop, it's empty. No tenant, no rent coming in, zero income from it. And yet under the old rule, you'd still have to pay tax on the potential rent you could have earned. It was super frustrating for so many property owners. Well, the new bill just fixes that. It's simple, it's straightforward, and honestly, it just makes sense. No more tax on vacant commercial properties. If you aren't making money from it, you're not getting taxed on it. This gets rid of a really unfair financial burden. Now, beyond these specific money-saving changes, the new bill has an even bigger goal: to rewrite the tax code in plain, simple English so that everybody can actually understand it. Here's a perfect example. The bill wants to get rid of confusing jargon like assessment year and just call it tax year. Look, I know it seems like a small thing, but it's a huge signal. It's a move toward making the whole tax system less scary and easier for regular folks to navigate. Okay, so let's zoom out. When you put it all together, what are the key takeaways from this proposed bill according to RAOS Sheikh's analysis? What does this actually mean for you? So here's the bottom line. First, you could finally get a refund even if you file late. Second, the tax on your rental income is set to become much fairer and probably lower. Third, you wouldn't have to pay tax on commercial properties that are sitting empty. And finally, the whole system is getting a language makeover to make it way easier to deal with. So there you have it. We've walked through the biggest proposed changes to India's tax laws, all based on the fantastic breakdown by RAOS Sheikh, which really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Are these the kinds of tax changes you were hoping to see? Thanks for joining us.